You reach out to pet your cat, and they pull away. Most owners think, my cat doesn't love me. But the truth is simple. You're making a small mistake while petting. Fix it, and by the end of this video, your cat will stop pulling away and start enjoying your touch. Reason 1. You're petting their secret no-go zones. Here's what nobody tells you. Your cat's body is literally a map of yes zones and danger zones, and you've been treating it like it's all the same. Most people think cats love being petted everywhere, but here's the truth. Their belly, paws, and tail base are basically their version of personal space violations. When you pet these areas, their nervous system goes into overdrive, because these are their most vulnerable spots. In the wild, exposing the belly means death, so when you go for that fluffy tummy, your cat's instincts are screaming danger. The fix? Stick to the safe zones, the cheeks, chin, and the base of their ears. These spots have scent glands that cats actually want you to activate. Watch your cat's body language. If their ears go back or their tail starts twitching, you've crossed into enemy territory. Move your hand back to the safe zone immediately. Here's the game changer. Let your cat headbutt your hand first. When they do this, they're literally marking you and giving you permission to pet those exact spots. It's like they're drawing you a map of where to touch. Reason 2. Your timing is catastrophically wrong. This one's huge, and almost nobody knows about it. You know how you hate being interrupted when you're focused. Your cat feels the times 10. Cats operate on a precise schedule in their minds, and when you try to pet them during hunting mode, eating mode, or their pre-nap ritual, you're basically disrupting their entire programming. Picture this. Your cat is locked in on a bug crawling across the floor, every muscle tensed, pupils dilated, and you reach down for a pet. To them, you just ruined the hunt of the century. Or they're in that weird pre-sleep circling thing, getting their body temperature just right, and your hand comes in hot. You've just reset their entire sleep sequence. The fix is actually simple, but requires patience. Wait for your cat to approach you first, or catch them during their social windows. Right after they eat, cats enter a brief social period where they're actually receptive to affection. Same thing in the morning after they've had their routine patrol of the house. Start watching the clock. You'll notice your cat has specific times when they're more affectionate. That's your window. Mark it, remember it, use it. And here's a pro move. Never pet a cat whose tail is swishing. That's not happiness, that's agitation, and you're about to get rejected. Reason 3. Static electricity is secretly torturing them. This one sounds crazy, but it's real, and it's probably happening in your house right now. Every time you pet your cat during dry weather or on certain fabrics, you're giving them tiny electric shocks, and they have no idea why. Imagine someone giving you random static shocks every time they touched you. You'd pull away too. Cats have way more sensitive skin than we do. And that little zap you barely feel. To them, it's like touching a doorknob after walking on carpet. Painful and confusing. Winter is the worst because the air is dry, you're wearing fuzzy sweaters, and your cat's fur is building up charge like a little furry battery. The fix starts with a humidifier in your main living space. Get that humidity up to 40 to 50% and watch the static disappear. Second fix. Spray your hands with a tiny bit of water before petting. Or better yet, use a dryer sheet on your clothes before you interact with your cat. Sounds weird, but it neutralizes the charge. And here's something most people never think about. Certain blankets and cat beds are static electricity factories. If your cat keeps jumping off their favorite bed and seems irritated, that's probably why. Switch to cotton or microfiber materials. Your cat will stop pulling away and you'll both be happier. Reason 4. Overstimulation is frying their nervous system. Okay, this is where it gets interesting because cats actually have a neurological threshold that humans don't have. Your cat can go from loving pets to absolutely done in literally 3 seconds, and it's not because they're moody. It's because their nervous system gets overwhelmed. Think of it like this. Every pet sends signals through their skin to their brain. Pleasant, pleasant, pleasant. Then suddenly, it crosses a line and becomes too much input, almost painful. It's called petting-induced aggression, and vets see it constantly. You'll notice the signs if you watch carefully. The pupils dilate. The skin on their back starts rippling. Their tail goes from calm to thrashing, and their ears flatten. Most people miss these warnings and keep petting, then act shocked when their cat swats or runs. The fix requires you to become a detective. Start counting your pets. Most cats tap out between 3 and 15 pets in one session. Find your cat's number and stop before you hit it. Here's the secret method. Pet 3 times. Pause. Let them lean into you if they want more. If they don't lean in, you're done. Walk away. This actually trains them to tolerate more, over time, because they learn you respect their limits. Some cats can eventually handle minutes of petting, but you have to build up that tolerance by always stopping before they want you to. Reason 5. You smell wrong and don't even know it. This is going to sound wild, but your smell changes throughout the day, and your cat notices every single variation. You came home from the grocery store? You smell like 30 different people and weird food. You just put on lotion? That's a chemical assault to their nose. You pet the neighbor's dog? Congratulations, you're now the enemy. Cats have 200 million scent receptors compared to our 5 million. Their world is built on smell first, sight second. When you smell wrong, you're basically a stranger wearing your face. They pull away because their nose is telling them something's off, even though their eyes say it's you. The fix is about strategic scent management. Before you pet your cat, let them smell your hand first. Every single time. Give them 3 seconds to investigate and gather intel. If they rub against your hand, you're cleared for petting. If they pull back, you still smell weird. Give it time. Here's an insider trick. Keep the same soap, lotion, and laundry detergent. Cats love consistency in scents. And if you've been around other animals, wash your hands with unscented soap before approaching your cat. Some cats are so scent-sensitive, they'll reject you for hours after you've been to someone else's house. It's not personal, it's biology. Reason 6, your energy level is completely mismatched. Energy matching is real, and your cat can sense it immediately. You're hyped up, excited, moving fast, talking loud. Your cat wants nothing to do with that chaos. Cats are ambush predators who spend most of their time in a calm, observant state. When you come in hot with big energy, you're triggering their fight or flight response. They're not thinking, oh fun, playtime. They're thinking, threat detected, retreat needed. This happens all the time with kids and cats. The kid is excited, runs up, reaches out fast, and the cat bolts. Everyone thinks the cat is mean, but really the cat just experienced what felt like an attack. Same thing happens with adults who don't realize they're bringing stressed energy home from work. Your cat reads your tension and wants distance. The fix is all about conscious energy regulation before you interact. Take 30 seconds to breathe slowly and calm yourself down. Lower your voice to a soft tone. Move in slow motion when you approach your cat. Here's what works incredibly well. Sit or kneel down to their level instead of looming over them. Being tall is threatening. When you're low and calm, you're suddenly approachable. Match your breathing to a slow rhythm and watch your cat actually come closer. It's like magic, but it's really just animal behavior. Your cat mirrors your energy, so if you want a calm, affectionate cat, you need to bring calm, affectionate energy. Reason 7. They're in physical pain and hiding it from you. This is the one that changes everything, and most cat owners completely miss it until it's serious. Cats are hardwired to hide pain, because in the wild, showing weakness means becoming prey. So when your cat pulls away from petting, especially in specific areas. They might be screaming, "That hurts," in the only way they can, by leaving. Arthritis, dental disease, skin infections, or internal issues can make touch painful, but your cat will never limp around or cry about it. They'll just avoid being touched, and you'll think they're being difficult. Watch these subtle signs: pulling away when you touch their back or hips, becoming less active, sleeping more, or suddenly being aggressive when they used to be sweet. If your cat loved being petted and suddenly doesn't, pain is your first suspect. The fix starts with a vet visit, not behavioral training. Be specific with your vet. Tell them exactly where your cat pulls away and when it started. Ask for a full senior panel if your cat is over 7 years old. Many vets will just do a quick exam and miss chronic pain. Push for answers. Once pain is managed with medication or treatment, your affectionate cat often comes back. Here's something critical. Don't assume a young cat can't have pain. Cats can develop issues at any age. I've seen 2-year-old cats with dental problems that made head pets unbearable. The pulling away is communication. Listen to it. Reason 8. You're accidentally triggering their prey drive. This one trips people up constantly because they don't realize their petting technique is activating hunting instincts. When you pet your cat with quick, light touches, or your fingers move in a skittering pattern, you're mimicking prey behavior. Your cat's brain immediately switches from relaxation mode to hunt mode. Those fast finger movements look like a mouse running across their body. Suddenly they're not your pet anymore. They're a predator locked onto a target, and they need to catch it or chase it. This is why some cats will suddenly bite or bunny kick your hand during petting. They're not being mean. They've just entered a different mental state where your hand became a toy. The fix is adjusting your petting style completely. Use slow, deliberate, firm strokes instead of light, tickly touches. Keep your hand solid and predictable. Think of petting like you're smoothing down their fur, not playing with it. Never let your fingers dance or wiggle while petting. That's an invitation to hunt. And here's a key point. If your cat's pupils suddenly dilate wide during petting, stop immediately. Dilated pupils mean they've switched into predator mode and your hand is about to get attacked. Redirect their attention to an actual toy and let them get that energy out on something appropriate. Once they calm down, you can try petting again with slower movements. Teaching your cat the difference between petting time and playtime takes consistency, but it's totally doable. Reason 9. They haven't been properly socialized to touch. Socialization windows are everything with cats, and most people have no idea this exists. Kittens have a critical period between 2 and 7 weeks old, where they learn what's safe and what's scary. If a kitten doesn't get regular, gentle handling during this window, they often grow up finding human touch confusing or threatening. This isn't their fault or your fault, it's just missed development. Cats who were born outside, separated from their mother too early, or raised without human interaction often struggle with physical affection their entire lives. They want to connect with you emotionally, but the physical sensation of petting feels foreign and uncomfortable. The fix involves basically re-socializing an adult cat, which is harder but not impossible. Start with the least invasive touch points, chin scratches and slow blinks. Slow blinking at your cat signals trust and affection in cat language. When they slow blink back, you've made a connection. From there, offer your hand for them to rub against instead of you initiating the pet. Let them control the interaction completely. When they rub their face on your hand, give the gentlest scratch behind the ear for just 2 seconds, then stop. You're teaching them that touch can feel good in small doses. Increase duration slowly over weeks. Some under-socialized cats will never enjoy being held or petted for long periods, and you have to respect that boundary. But most can learn to tolerate and even enjoy brief, predictable touches if you go at their pace. Reason 10. Your hand position and approach angle is all wrong. Nobody teaches you this, but cats have very specific preferences about how you should approach them for petting, and most people do it completely backward. Coming at a cat from above with your hand descending onto their head? That's predator behavior. Birds of prey attack from above. Your cat's instincts read that as a threat, even though logically they know you're not a hawk. When you reach straight for their face or come at them head-on, you're also violating their comfort zone in a way that makes them want to retreat. The fix is all about approach mechanics. Always approach from the side or slightly below their eye level, never from directly above. Let your hand come into their peripheral vision first so they can track it and decide if they're okay with it. Offer your hand low, around their chest or chin level, with your palm facing down or to the side. This is non-threatening body language in cat world. Here's the magic move. Extend 1 or 2 fingers, not your whole hand, and let them make first contact by moving their head to your fingers. They're choosing to engage, which makes all the difference. Once they've rubbed against your fingers, you can slowly move into full petting. If you come in at the right angle with the right positioning, even skittish cats will often accept touch. The approach matters more than anything else. Master this, and you'll see an immediate difference in how often your cat pulls away. Reason 11. Temperature sensitivity is making them uncomfortable. Here's something that's going to blow your mind. Your cat's comfort zone for temperature is way narrower than yours, and your hands might literally be too hot or too cold for them. Cats have a higher body temperature than humans, sitting around 102 degrees Fahrenheit. When your cold hands from holding an iced drink or coming in from outside suddenly touch their warm body, it's a shock to their system. They're not being dramatic. They're experiencing a jarring temperature difference that feels wrong. The same thing happens in reverse. If you've been exercising or your hands are sweaty and hot, that excess heat transfers to their fur and skin, making them uncomfortable. Think about it. Would you want someone with ice-cold hands suddenly grabbing your warm neck? Absolutely not. The fix is stupidly simple, but makes a massive difference. Before you pet your cat, rub your hands together for 10 seconds to normalize their temperature. If your hands are cold, warm them up under warm water first, or tuck them under your arms for a minute. If they're hot and sweaty, wash them with cool water and dry them completely. Here's a pro tip. Some cats are more temperature sensitive than others, especially hairless breeds like Sphinx cats or thin-coated breeds. If you have a cat that only wants pets during certain times of day, check if those times correlate with when your hands are at a neutral temperature. You might discover your cat isn't moody at all. They just have specific thermal preferences. Reason 12. Your petting pressure is completely off. Most people have no idea that petting pressure matters, but to your cat, it's the difference between a massage and an assault. Too light and it tickles their sensitive skin, triggering that overstimulation response we talked about earlier. Too hard, and you're actually causing discomfort or even pain, especially if they have any underlying conditions. Cats have incredibly sensitive skin, with tons of nerve endings, and the perfect pressure is this Goldilocks zone that most people never find. Here's what happens with too light pressure. Those feather-light touches activate surface nerves without providing the deeper satisfaction that firm pressure gives. It's like someone barely grazing your skin with their fingertips. It makes you want to squirm away. Too much pressure compresses muscles and can hurt, especially along the spine or ribs. The fix requires you to experiment and become a pressure scientist. Start with medium firm pressure. Imagine you're smoothing down their fur with purpose but not pressing into their body. Watch their reaction. If they lean into your hand, you can go slightly firmer. If they pull away or their skin twitches, you're too hard. If they seem restless or irritated, you might be too light. Here's the test. Press your fingers against your own forearm with the same pressure you use on your cat. Does it feel good, or does it feel like nothing or too much? Most cats prefer what feels like a firm, confident stroke to you. And here's something interesting. Older cats often prefer firmer pressure because it helps with arthritic joints, while kittens usually like gentler touches. Adjust based on age and individual preference. Reason 13. They're overwhelmed by multi-sensory input. This one is absolutely wild and explains so much confusing cat behavior. Your cat doesn't just feel your petting. They're processing your touch, plus your smell, plus your voice, plus the environment, plus any sounds, plus the lighting all at the same time. Their brain is running on overdrive, trying to compute all this input simultaneously. When you're petting them while talking loudly with the TV on and your phone is buzzing, their nervous system is getting hammered from every direction. It's not about the petting itself. It's about the total sensory load, and they hit their limit fast. Cats are naturally solitary hunters who thrive in calm, predictable environments. Modern homes are sensory chaos to them. The fix is about creating sensory-reduced petting sessions. Turn off the TV or music when you're giving your cat attention. Put your phone on silent. Stop talking or lower your voice to a soft, slow tone. Dim the lights if possible. Create a bubble of calm around the petting experience. Here's what's crazy. When you reduce all other sensory input, most cats will tolerate way more petting and actually seek it out. Try this experiment. Pet your cat in a quiet room with just you and them, versus petting them in a busy living room with multiple people and noise. You'll see a massive difference in their tolerance and enjoyment. Some cats are more sensitive to this than others. If you have a cat that only wants affection at night or early morning when the house is quiet, this is exactly why. They're not being picky. They're managing their sensory input intelligently. Reason 14. They're experiencing whisker fatigue and facial sensitivity. This is going to sound bizarre, but it's incredibly common and completely misunderstood. Your cat's whiskers aren't just hair, they're sophisticated sensory organs packed with nerve endings and blood vessels. Every time those whiskers touch something, they're sending massive amounts of data to your cat's brain about spatial awareness, air currents, and their environment. When you pet your cat's face and inadvertently bend or press their whiskers, you're overloading those sensors. It's like someone constantly flicking your fingertips, which are your most sensitive touch points. Whisker fatigue is real, and it happens when a cat's whiskers are overstimulated throughout the day, from rubbing against food bowls, narrow spaces, or excessive face petting. By the time you try to pet them, their facial nerves are maxed out and they pull away to protect themselves from more input. The fix involves being incredibly careful around the whisker area when petting. Never push whiskers forward or backward, never squeeze the cheeks where whiskers attach, and avoid petting directly over the whisker beds. Instead, focus your face pets on the top of the head between the ears, the chin where there are fewer whiskers, and the cheeks in gentle motions that don't disturb the whiskers. Here's a game changer. Switch your cat's food and water bowls to wide, shallow dishes so their whiskers don't touch the sides during eating and drinking. This reduces their overall whisker stimulation during the day, making them way more tolerant of face pets from you. Some cats have more sensitive whiskers than others, and breeds with longer whiskers, like Maine Coons, can be especially prone to this issue. Reason 15. Your cat has developed a negative association with petting. This one is heartbreaking because it usually happens without you realizing it, and once the association forms, it's hard to undo. Your cat might have learned that petting often leads to something they hate, like being picked up when they don't want to be, being given medication, or being put in the carrier for the vet. In their mind, your hand reaching out isn't about affection anymore. It's the first step in a chain of events that ends badly for them. Every time you pet them and then immediately do something unpleasant, you're reinforcing this negative pattern. Eventually, they start pulling away from petting itself because they're trying to avoid what comes after. The same thing happens if you accidentally hurt them during a petting session, stepped on their tail or paw while reaching down to pet them, or if someone else in the house uses petting as a trap to grab them roughly. The fix requires breaking the negative association and rebuilding trust from scratch. For 2 full weeks, commit to only petting your cat with zero other agenda. Pet them and walk away. No picking up, no medications, no carrier, nothing. Just pure, safe affection that ends on a good note. Give them treats immediately after short petting sessions to create a positive association. Here's the critical part. If you need to do something unpleasant like give medication or go to the vet, don't pet them first as a way to butter them up. That reinforces the bad association. Instead, do the unpleasant thing without the petting. Then later, when they've calmed down, do a completely separate positive petting session. You're teaching them that petting has nothing to do with the bad stuff. It takes time, but it works. Reason 16. They're guarding their personal space boundaries. Last but definitely not least, your cat might just be an individual who values personal space more than physical affection, and that's completely valid. Not all cats are cuddly, and not all cats want to be petted frequently, even by people they love and trust. Some cats express affection through being near you rather than on you. They'll sit 3 feet away and slow blink at you, follow you from room to room but dodge your hand, or sleep at the foot of your bed instead of curled up against you. This isn't rejection, it's just their personality and boundary preference. Trying to force a low-touch cat to accept more petting is like forcing an introvert to be extroverted. It causes stress and damages the relationship. Breeds matter too. Some breeds like ragdolls and Siamese tend to be more touch-oriented, while breeds like Russian blues and Norwegian forest cats often prefer independence. Individual personality overrides breed tendencies, but genetics play a role. The fix is accepting your cat for who they are and meeting them where they're comfortable. If your cat prefers minimal touching, give them that respect. Find other ways to bond. Play with interactive toys, sit near them quietly, talk to them softly, or just share space without physical contact. Here's what's beautiful. When you stop pushing for physical affection and respect their boundaries completely, many cats actually start seeking out more touch on their own terms because they feel safe and in control. The pressure is off, and they can explore affection at their own pace. Some cats will always be low touch, and loving them means loving that about them. Your relationship can be just as deep and meaningful without constant petting. If you made it this far, you're officially a cat behavior expert now, but I need your help. Which one of these reasons was the biggest mind blower for you? Comment below with the number that explained everything. And here's the real question. After trying these fixes, did your cat finally let you pet them longer? Share your success stories because other cat owners need to hear this. Hit subscribe so you never miss the next deep dive into cat psychology. We're building a community of people who actually understand their cats, and you're part of it now.